في ساحة للعلم كنا نلتقي والحب والإخلاص زاد.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the most explosive, dynamic mathematics show on the face of the planet currently in 2022. Guys, I'm your host and presenter, Mr. K, presenting you live here from our studios here in Johannesburg at the Qurtuba Online Academy. I hope you guys enjoyed our previous show. We've got another bumper, explosive show prepared for you today. Parents, teachers, I hope you guys have opened up a file, a math file. We've done functions. We've completed functions in our previous episode. We're now starting with sequences and series. Guys, I hope you guys are all fired up for today's exciting show. Right, so take out your books, take out your scientific calculators. We're starting with a very important topic for grade 12s. It's called sequences and series. Right, here we've got Mr. Bharti here on the side, the grade 12 math rescue with Qurtuba Online. Let's get started. Mr. Bharti, are you ready for us? Okay, ready for action. Let's get started. Okay, so we're putting our first topic down here today, guys. As you can see, step up. Every show is more exciting than the last. The last show I was using my finger. Well, we've got an upgrade today, guys. We've got an upgrade. Let's start. So we're starting with sequences and series. So put the heading there, sequence. Right? Now, these are number patterns, guys. What is a sequence? Now, we use this in everyday life. So parents, for those of you, to put you into the picture, why do we have sequences? You can have street poles that are evenly spaced down your road. You want to find out what is the distance between yourself and the last street pole. And you know they are evenly spaced. So let's say, for example, your first street pole is the distance between the poles, let's say, is 2 meters. For example, 2 meters. I know 2 meters is very short, but I'm just giving you an example. The one is 2 meters away from where you are. The next one is 5 meters away from where you are. The next one is 8 meters away from where you are. The next one is 11 meters away from where you are. So that forms a sequence, correct? Right? Grade 12s, you know this. This is an arithmetic, a linear series. Why? Because it's got a common difference. They are all equally spaced. Now, you don't want to, in real life, if you want to know that how far is the 80th pole from you, are you now physically going to go and take a measuring tape and go and measure all the distances between the poles? No, you're not going to do that, right? So that is why we have mathematics, because what are we going to do? We're going to create a formula that we can just plug in values in order to get our distances without physically having to go there and measure it. And how do we do it? And that's what the show is all about, to teach you how to create formulas, how to create algorithms. Okay, this is where mathematics comes into play. So come, parents, let's play a game now and let's get your mind activated, parents and learners. Now we have 2, 5, 8, 11. You know that there is a common difference between each of them. From there to there is 3 meters. From there to there is 3 meters. From there to there is 3 meters. So what would your next two terms be? You correct. You add on 3, you add on 3. So 11 plus 3 would be 14. And 14 plus 3 would be 17. And that, guess what? That's your first exam question. Extend the pattern by 2 terms if it had to continue in the same way. Now, the minute you see that it's got a common difference, this is what we call a common difference. And the minute we have a common difference, right? So let's write it here. We have a common difference. And our common difference in this case is 3. Then we say that it is arithmetic. And another word for arithmetic sequence is linear. So this is for grade 11s. This first part here would be for grade 11s and 12s, right? So you've got an arithmetic pattern. It's a linear pattern. Now, sequences and series are broken up into 2 parts. Arithmetic, and if we have to graph this, this would actually look like that. A straight line graph. As the one increases, the other one increases. Okay, so you've taken that down. You've understood this concept. So sequences, let's just write it down here again. Sequences is broken up into 2 parts. Arithmetic, which I just showed you now, which has got a common difference, right? Linear pattern, so it's got a common difference. And then you've got geometric. And another word for geometric is exponential. We'll come across these terms when we do, even financial institutions use an exponential graph. What does the graph for exponential look like? The graph for exponential looks like that. So as the one increases, the other one increases exponentially. Okay, I'll show you exactly how we utilize this. Not important to know this. What is important is that you know that you get an arithmetic and you get a geometric sequence. Now we all know, let's use our eraser here. Let's take all this out, right? Let's go back. Arithmetic, we've got a general formula and you all know it by now. Grade 12s and 11s, you've been taught this, right? Let's go to our pen. Tn, the general term, is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d, right? Geometric, Tn is equal to ar to the power n minus 1. What does this mean? What does each component of this formula mean? So, Tn is the value of your nth term. There's your n. N is a term, any term. I can say the 10th light pole. So you'll put 10 for n, right? It's a term in the pattern. Tn is the value of that term. So the 10th term is 150 meters away from us. So 150 would come there and 10 would go there. Okay, so n is a term, any general term, and Tn is the value of that, the value of the nth term. D, obviously, we said it's got a common difference. Your common difference. Remember we did the first example, it had a common difference of 3. That's where you would put the 3. And A represents your first term. So that's what that formula means. That is for arithmetic. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to teach you now how to identify between arithmetic and geometric when we start working out examples. But for now, very important, you need to know this mind map. This mind map, I'm not, again, like I'm telling you guys, I'm not doing rough calculations here on the screen. This is a mind map that you need to learn. Okay. Geometric or exponential, Tn is the value of n. What does A represent? Your first term. And what does R represent? Your common ratio. And I'll explain to you, we'll do an example of arithmetic patterns and geometric patterns, how to find terms and how to find value of terms, right? This is the first part. Remember, today's show, we're going to be talking about sequences and series. So series is when we sum a term of, or a number of terms. When we sum a sequence, it becomes a series. For now, we're only dealing with sequences. All right, let's get started. So you've got this, you've taken it down. That's your common ratio. Let's start with arithmetic. I'm going to start you off from level 1, from basic, and we're going to go up from basic to advanced in levels of questions. All right, so let's get started, guys. I hope you guys got your scientific calculators out. I hope you got your notebooks out. I hope you got everything, and let's get started with our examples. Okay, so let's clear. Now we start off with example number 1. Let's see, do we still have our black pen? There we go. Okay. Let's start off with this one here. We're starting with arithmetic. So let's start with your arithmetic pattern. So put your arithmetic pattern. We're starting basic to advanced, right? This is for everybody. I don't know at what level you are. So what we're doing is that we're assuming that everybody knows nothing. We're starting everybody from a clean slate. Let's get started. So we get 2, 5, 8, 11, ... Whoopsie. Let's go there. Let's say that. Out there. Okay, there we go. This thing is so sensitive. So we got 2, 5, 8, 11. What would your questions be in your exam? Question number 1, extend by 2 terms. Extend by 2 terms. If the pattern continues or behaves in the same way. Find Tn. Find Tn, the general expression. The formula. Basically, you must give a formula for those terms. Find the 10th term. Or let's say find the 20th term. Find the 20th term in the pattern. And let's say the last question, which term in the sequence is equal to, let's say, 41. Okay? There we go. Let's start. So these are your questions. Extend by 2 terms. This is very elementary. This is very basic. We're now going to go from basic to advanced. Let's answer these questions. Now, I know many of you know how to do it. You probably are working it out or calculating it in your mind already. So let's go here. Extend by 2 terms. From 2 to get to 5, we add 3. From 5 to get to 8, we get 3. From 8 to get to 11, we add 3. So obviously, we're going to add on another 3. 11 plus 3 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. And there we go. We are done. Okay? We're done. We extended the term by 2 terms. What's our 2 terms? 14 and 17. Find Tn, the general expression. Now, the minute it's got a common difference, guys, the minute it has a common difference of 3, we know that it is linear. And what is the formula for linear? So we're answering question number 2. We're answering question number 2. Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. That's your formula. That's your general formula. Let's go. So Tn is equal to what's A? 2 plus n minus 1. What's your common difference? 3. Now remember, we're going to be multiplying this inside. So we got Tn is equal to 2 plus 3 times n is 3n. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. So your general formula Tn is 3n plus 2 minus 3 is minus 1. And there we go. That is your general formula. That is your general formula. Tn is equal to 3n minus 1. All right. Got that? Find the 20th. Let's answer question number 3. Find the 20th term. So where are we going to put the 20? We're going to put the 20 for every n. So here we go. Now that we've got a formula, T20 is equal to 3 into 20 minus 1. Now we know 3 times 20 is 60 minus 1. Your answer is 59. Right? Easy. You've got it. So we've answered question number 1. We've answered question number 2. We've answered question number 3. The last one, which term in the sequence is equal to 41? Which term in the sequence? Now we're not finding the value of a term. We're saying which term is equal to 41. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to erase that. Let's erase all of this. There we go. And we're answering question number 4. Tn is equal to 3n minus 1. That was our general formula. Which term? Whenever they say which term, we are looking for n. We're not looking for Tn. We are looking for n. Which term? The number of terms. So here goes. 3n minus 1 is equal to 41. They gave it to us here. 41. So we put 41. There we go. So let's solve for n. 3n is equal to 41 plus 1 is 42. N is equal to 42 divided by 3. N is equal to 14. Right? 42 divided by 3 is 14. 14, 28, 42. There we go. N is equal to 14. So which term? Guys, the 14th term will equal to 41. Right? That was your first one. Now let's just go back. You've taken this one down. This was your elementary. This was your basic. We're now going to start moving into your higher order questions. Very, very important. And you guys need to listen to me very carefully now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase this entire screen. You've got it down. You've taken it down. Let's erase the screen. Remember, for sequences, let's just go back to our mind map. We told you it was broken up into 2 parts, arithmetic and geometric, correct? You had arithmetic, Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D, and you had geometric, AR to the power n minus 1. That's a R, common ratio. Right. Now watch. The next formula for this is our common difference formula. And what's our common difference formula? How did you find the common difference? Remember we had 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. There's a formula for this. In fact, your common difference formula is T3 minus T2 is equal to T2 minus T1. Right? That's a formula. Learn that. This minus that is equal to that minus that. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. So there we go. It's got a common difference between the terms. Right. So that's your second formula that you need to learn under arithmetic. I also want you to remember something. For example, if I told you term 10, what is it known in arithmetic language? term 10 is A plus 10 minus 1. N minus 1. 10 minus 1 is 9D. Very important to convert it into its language, because this is going to help us to build simultaneous equations when we get to our higher order questions. So here we go. T10 is equal to A plus 9D. So for example, T100, what will 100 be? A plus 99D. What will term 60 be? For example, term 60 is A plus 59D. Remember this. We're going to be using this to build up our simultaneous equations when we do our higher order questions. For your common ratio, this one has got a common ratio. Your common ratio is R. And we know it's got a formula. To get R, we know T3 divided by T2 equals T2 divided by T1. And T10 here will be known as AR to the power 10 minus 1, which is 9. T100 will be known as AR to the power 99. T60 will be known as AR to the power 59. We just subtract 1 from your power, right? Because it tells you n minus 1. So 100 minus 1 is 99. 10 minus 1 is 9. 60 minus 1 is 59. And there we go. So please remember these formulas. You're going to remember that. You're going to remember how to calculate your common ratio. And you're going to know how to convert it into its respective language when we're doing the higher order questions. Very, very, very important. We're going to now start off now, guys. We're now starting off with your higher order questions. So let's get cracking. In fact, before that, let me show you the geometric. You might be saying, okay, we understand the arithmetic now. We understand arithmetic. It's got a common difference. What about geometric? So let's start off with the geometric one. Let's say 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18, times 3 is 54, ... There we go. Same questions, guys. Same questions. Extend. They're not going to tell you whether it's arithmetic. At times, they will tell you whether it's arithmetic or geometric. At times, you're going to have to find it out for yourself. And how do we find it out? So let's go. Extend by 2 terms. Extend by 2 terms. Find Tn the general expression. Tn the general expression. Let's say find the 10th term. And let's say which term in the sequence is equal to 5,486. Alright, so let's go. Take this down. Now we need to determine whether it's arithmetic or whether it is geometric. And how do we do that, guys? T3 minus T2. So between 2 and 6 is 4. Between 18 and 6 is 12. So it's not a common difference. Right? 2 plus 4 is 6. If you had to go common difference, you'd say 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 4 would be 10. Then your next term would have been 10. But your next term is not 10. Your next term is 18. So that means it's not a common difference, correct? So what is it? 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3. So whenever you're multiplying, in the common difference, whenever you are adding, here, whenever you are multiplying a term by a common ratio, that's our common ratio. T3 divided by T2. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So there's it. T3 divided by T2 equals term 2 divided by term 1. So what would your next 2 terms be? So it's going to be 54 times 3, and whatever answer there is there times 3. So let's go to our calculators. Take out your calculators. Let's see what is it. So let's go here to our calculators. I'm just going to go FX991. Guys, you know what? You actually have an app on your phone to get your scientific calculator. I hope you guys know that, right? On Google Play Store, you can take out your phone. You know the silver calculators for scientific? You can just go Casio FX991 and you can. But unfortunately, this is just for Android users. Okay, not for your iOS. iOS, they got too much of red tape. This one here, okay, Android is all right. So basically, we've got it on your phone. You can use this now. Obviously, grade 12s, you can't use this in your exam, but you can use it if you don't have a calculator. So you can download it from Play Store. Right, so there we go. There's our calculator on there. And we go 54 times 3, 54 times 3. We get 162. So let's go here. Let's just put this here down. Let's put that down. 54 times 3 is 162. So our first term is 162. And 162 times 3 will give me 486. 486. And there we go. There's our next two terms. Now we've identified that this is not arithmetic. So this must be geometric. This sequence must be geometric. What's your formula for geometric? I gave it to you on your mind map. Right? Geometric, Tn. So we've answered the first question, 162 and 486. Right. Find Tn, the general expression. So we're answering question number 2. So Tn is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. Right? So Tn is equal to A is your first term. What's your first term? 2. What's your common ratio? That's your common ratio. That's R. That's your common ratio. Your common ratio is 3 to the power n minus 1. And there we go. That's your final answer, guys. That is your final. You can't do it. And now please don't tell me 2 times 3 is 6. You can't multiply the 2 inside because the n minus 1 belongs to the 3, not to the 2. Remember your rules of algebra? So you leave the 2 outside. And that's your answer for question number 2. Let's go into question number 3. Find the 10th term. So T10. So now we got our formula, guys. So now we're just going to put 10. T10 is equal to 2 into 3 to the power 10 minus 1. Right? For every n, what do I put? 10. So 2 into 3 to the power 10 minus 1 is 9. Let's go to our calculators. Go to your calculators. 2 open brackets, 3 close brackets to the power 9. Boom. 39366. 39366. That means the 10th term in this pattern would be 39,366. Right? Starting with 2. 2, 6, 18, 54. It's like, guys, if every month, I know this is like, I'm just giving you an example. If every year, let's say for every year you put 2 Rand into a bank account, and this bank account is getting interest, and you are returning the bank is going to pay you 3 times what you initially put in every year. So in the first year, you invested 2 Rand. In your second year, you will have 6 Rand in your account. In the third year, you will have 18 Rand. In the fourth year, you will have 54 Rand. Fifth year, 162 Rand. Sixth year, 486 Rand. In the 10th year, you would have 39,666. Right? This is not a real life example, but I'm just putting you into perspective as to what a geometric pattern is. It expands exponentially. It expands. And this is actually used in the financial industry. You'll see when we do our component on financial mathematics, okay, where compound interest is used on a home loan, for example. You take out a home loan for 30 years and you want to find out how do the banks calculate your interest? And that's what we're going to be also discussing. Okay. All right. So we've taken this one down. This is it. This comes, we've got about 2 minutes left for the end of our first segment. I hope you guys have understood. Let's just do a quick recap. When we come back from the break, we're going to be doing the higher order question. This is elementary. This is basic stuff. This is just your introduction to the topic. So what do we have here? Remember something? We started off with sequences, broken up into arithmetic and geometric. Arithmetic, you can look at your notes. Tn equals a plus n minus 1 times d. It's got a common difference. And what's our formula for common difference? You've got it in your notes. T3 minus T2 equals T2 minus T1. Term 100, a plus 99d. Your geometric is broken up. Your formula is T. It's got a common ratio. T3 divided by T2 equals T2 divided by T1. Your general formula, Tn equals AR to the power n minus 1, where R is your common ratio. And then T50 is known as A plus 59D. T5, term 5, is AR to the power 4. term 2, AR to the power 1. We subtract 1 from your number of terms. Okay, so I hope it's put into perspective. We're cutting for break now. Right, hope you guys enjoy your break. Stay tuned for our next segment where we're going to be cracking higher order questions with regard to sequences.
في ساحة للعلم كنا نلتقي والحب والإخلاص.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Qurtuba Online Math Show presented by me, Mr. K. Right, I hope you guys are enjoying the first segment of the show. Remember the show, the repeats of the show, you can check it up on, you can even go to Google, go to Hilaal TV. Once you go to Hilaal TV, just just plug in or type in the Hilaal TV website. Once you are in on the website, you can live stream it, you can watch the shows, you can even go to YouTube, go to Hilaal TV and watch the shows, watch the replay of the shows, okay, so that you understand if you missed anything before. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys had a good break and back to the higher order. We're busy with sequences and series today, guys, in our math rescue program. Let's get cracking. We're starting with our exam questions. Arithmetic exam questions. In an arithmetic sequence, the 5th term is 4 and the 11th term is 100. Find the sequence. So as you can see, this is not as basic as it was before, right? So now we're picking it up a notch. So now we're asking you, in an arithmetic sequence, the 5th term is 4 and the 11th term is 100, right? The 11th term is 100. Find the sequence. So what are they giving you here, guys? They're giving you two random terms. They're giving you two random terms. Why? They're giving us the 5th term and the 11th term. They could give you the 8th term and the 20th term. They could give you the 50th term and the 5,000th term. Makes no difference. The minute they give you two random terms, simultaneous equations. So make a note of that. Okay? Random terms, simultaneous equations. Now we need to create these simultaneous equations. And how do we go about doing that? I'm about to show you. Stay tuned. Okay. The answer to question number 1, T5. What did I tell you from our formula sheet when we just started? Term 5 is known as A plus 4D. Remember? In arithmetic language? Yes. Term 5 is known as A plus 4D. And it's given to us. It's 4. And that's equation number 1. Then we're given term 11. So T11. What is term 11 known as? A plus 10D is equal to 100. And that's equation number 2. Okay? So this is term 5. That's term 11. So let's do it like this. Remember your equations here. You can't have two equal to signs. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put that 2 dots, 2 dots. This is equation number 1. That's equation number 2. Now we need to get rid of the A's or we need to get rid of the D's in order to solve. Because we need the first term and the common difference. If I've got the first term and I've got the common difference, then my first term plus my common difference will give me term 2. Plus my common difference will give me term 3. Plus my common difference, and it will continue like that to infinity. Okay, so I'm going to subtract these two equations. Equation 2 minus equation number 1. I'm going to do equation number 2 minus equation number 1. Alright, so A minus A. All equation number 1 signs are going to change because we got negative. A minus A is 0, so we got rid of the A's. 10D minus 4D. We're subtracting. 10D minus, so 10 minus 4, 6D. 100 minus 4, 96. So what is D? Divide by 6, divide by 6, D is equal to 16. So there's your common difference. You've now found your common difference. You now need to find your first term. So let's go A plus 4D equals 4. A plus 4D equals 4. We got D. D is 16. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the 16 and I'm going to plug it in there. We're going to substitute. So we got A plus 4. D is 16, there we go, is equal to 4. A plus 4 times 16, 4 times 16, 64 is equal to 4. A equals 4 minus 64. Remember, we're going to take that on the other side. A is equal to minus 60. There we go. We've got our A, we got our D. So we can answer the first question. Find the sequence. So what's your A, guys? What's your A? Your first term is minus 60. Your common difference is 16. So minus 60 plus 16 to give you your second term is minus 44. Plus 16 is minus 28. And there we go. There's your sequence. Okay? There's your sequence, guys. I hope you've taken it down. I hope you're understanding it. That's your first exam question. This one could be worth about 4 to 5 marks in your exam. I'm going to show you templates, different styles, and as it comes closer to the exam, we'll choose from different past papers, right? And we'll do even more higher order questions. All right. So you've taken the first one down. Here's your pattern. We've answered the first question. We got our first marks. Term 5, A plus 4D. Term 11, A plus 10D. Work it out simultaneously. D is equal to 16. Take the 16, plug it back into any of the two equations. You get your A, and then you got your sequence. There's your A, plus your common difference gives you your second term, plus your common difference gives you your third term. So now, find the 20th term. So what I'm going to do, find the 20th term. I'm answering question number 2. I'm taking this out. I'm taking that out. And let's now put our general formula. Now answering question number 2. Right, so let's go here. Back to our pen. Where are we? There we go. We're answering question number 2. Right? Question number 2, find the 20th term. They want the 20th term. And how do we find the 20th term? Now we've got our pattern. Our pattern is, so we know that T20 is known as A plus 19D. Yes or no? T20 is known as A plus 90. Remember we said T100, A plus 99D, we subtract 1. So T20 is A plus 19D. So let's go. What's your A? What's your first value? What's your first term? Minus 60 plus 19. What's your common difference? You calculated it, 16. Let's go to our calculators. 19 times 16, 320, I think it's 301. 301 minus 60. Right, let's work it out. Minus 60 plus 19 into 16. Close brackets, you get 244. There we go. If you plug that into your calculator, minus 60 plus 19 times 16, you get 244. And there we've answered both the questions. We found the sequence and we found the 20th term. Okay, so this was exam type number 1. Let's now go on to exam type number 2. We're still busy with arithmetic. We have not gone to geometric yet. Okay, so we're still busy. Remember, we're going to do arithmetic sequence, geometric sequence. We're going to do series, arithmetic, geometric. Then we're going to do infinite series, right? Sum to infinity. Then we're going to do what we call sigma notation. And that will cover up the entire sequences and series topic for your grade 12 component. Okay, so this was your first question. I hope you understood it. Guys, if you like the show, click like, go onto the website, call Hilaal TV, tell them how much you're enjoying, or phone Qurtuba, tell them how much you're enjoying the show, right? Join the whole initiative in order to uplift the entire country. Don't be a troll. Don't talk nonsense on your emails. Okay, let's go. We're doing number 2. Let's do example number 2. Okay, so we were busy with arithmetic. Now here's type 2, right? Or example number 2. And we are still busy with arithmetic. So let me just take that out. Oops, no. Let's go forward. Right, example number 2. All right, I now tell you 3x minus 4, 4x minus 3, and 7x minus 6 are the first 3 terms, of an arithmetic sequence, I know you've seen this in your exams before. Very popular. Question number 1. Solve for x. Question number 2, find the first 3 terms. Question number 3, find the 20th term. For example, I could even say find the 50th term, find the 100th term. Alright, solve for x. So here you're given. Now what is the difference between this one and the previous one? Alright, you're taking it down. The previous one, I gave you 2 random terms. So I said it's always simultaneous equations. Whenever 2 random terms were given, simultaneous equations. Whenever unknowns are given, can you see you are given unknowns in your sequence? You are given unknowns in your sequence. Right? So here's the rule. Whenever unknowns are given in arithmetic, we use the common difference formula. Whenever unknowns are given in geometric, we use the common ratio formula. Right? That's the rule. That's the rule. So if you see unknowns in a pattern and they're telling you it's arithmetic, they told us it's arithmetic. So obviously, if they told you that it's arithmetic, we have to use the common difference formula. So let's use the common difference formula. Right, so let's go. Let's answer. Answer, that's the question in your exam. This is your answer. We're answering question number 1 to solve for x. We have to use our common difference because it's arithmetic. So what do? We say T3 minus T2 equals T2 minus T1. Agreed? You got it on your notes from our previous segment. I gave you the mind map. So that's your common difference formula. This here is your common difference formula. So what is T3? 7x minus 6, term 3, term 1, term 2, term 3. So T3 minus term 2, please use brackets because it's minus. Minus 4x minus 3 is equal to term 2, 4x minus 3 minus term 1, 3x minus 4. All we're going to do now, guys, we're going to remove the brackets, collect our like terms and solve for x. Let's go. This is basic algebra, guys. This is like grade 8 algebra. So 7x minus 6 minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 4x minus 3. Remember, we're distributing the negative. Minus 3x plus 4. 7x minus 4x, 3x minus 3. Minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3 is equal to 4x minus 3x is x. Minus 3 plus 4 is 1. 3x minus x, 2x is equal to 1 plus 3 is 4. X is equal to 2. Done. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 4 over 2 is 2. And there we go. We're done. We just solved for x here, guys. Here I moved a little bit fast because this is just algebra, collecting like terms. Okay, so we answered question number 1. We solved for x. We got x is equal to 2. So let's go and put it. X is equal to 2. But you've got to show all your calculations. You get marks for it. Right? It's worth 3 or 4 marks in your exam. Right. That was question number 1. Find the first 3 terms. What do you think we're going to do? We got x. We're going to take x and we're going to substitute it here. Right through. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see if I can go back. No. Let's not go there. Let's go to the pen again. There's our pen. Eraser. Right, let's take it. I'm now going to answer question number 2. Find the first 3 terms. So let's erase all of this. That goes out. Let's see if I just put a line through it. Yeah, that works. Instead of coloring in. Let's see if that works. Ah, that works nice. Right, there we go. Let's go to number 2. We're answering question number 2. Find the first 3 terms. So your first term, here's it, 3x minus 4. You got 4x minus 3. And then you've got 7x minus 6. What did we find x to be? X was how much, guys? Yes, you're right. X is equal to 2. So 3 into 2 minus 4. 4 into 2 minus 3. 7 into 2 minus 6. 3 times 2, there's your semicolon. That's your first term, second term, third term. 3 times 2, 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 3 is 5. 7 times 2 is 14 minus 6 is 8. So we got 258. And that's your answer. You found the first 3 terms. Find the 20th term. Question number 3. T20 is equal to A plus 19D. Right? What's A? 2 plus 19. What's your common difference between the terms? 3. 19 times 3, 57. Plus 2, 59. And there we go. Right, 20 times 3 is 60. So 19 times 3 is 59. Plus 2, 57. Plus 2 is 59. There we go. Okay, we're done with this. This was example number 2 for arithmetic. Let's go into geometric, guys. Let's go into geometric. Hey, I was just thinking, for that set of questions, I don't think we answered that last one. Which term was equal to? We found that term. Okay, anyway, we'll get back to it. Let's go back. Right, so we are done with arithmetic. Let's go into geometric. So I'm clearing the screen. Right, now I tell you, question number 1, I tell you, in a geometric sequence, the second term is 4 and the fifth term is 4 over 125. Right? Find the sequence. Find the sequence. Let's go. Right, again, 2 random terms are given, guys. 2 random terms are given. They're giving you the second term and they're giving you the fifth term. So 2 random terms are given. And what did I teach you? What was the rule? Whenever 2 random terms are given, what must we use? Simultaneous equations. Let's go. Right. The second term. So let's go T2, guys. T2. What is T2 known as? AR to the power 1 is equal to 4. And then we've got the fifth term. T5 is known as AR to the power 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1 is equal to 4 over 125. Okay. That's equation number 1. That's equation number 2. Now we're going to solve simultaneously. Alright. Now we're going to solve. So we can take equation number 1. In equation number 1, we know AR is equal to 4. So I can say R is equal to 4 over A if you wanted to. Right? Divide by A, divide by A. So what we can do, in fact, what we could do, watch here, we can either put it in terms of R or let's put it in terms of A. If you wanted to put it in terms of A, you can put it in terms of A also. A is equal to, divide the side by R, so you're left with 4 over R. Right? This is equation number 1. A equals 4 over R. Now put this 4 over R for every A. Right, so we got 4 over R multiplied by R to the power 4 over 1 is equal to, I'm now substituting it in equation number 2. Sub into equation number 2. So 4 over R, there we go, times R to the power 4 over 1 is equal to 4 over 125. Right, so we got 4R4, I'm just going to do it here. We got 4R to the power 4. 4 times R4 is 4R4 over R1 is equal to 4 over 125. Right? That 5 is not too good. Right. So what am I left with? So R4 divided by R1. I'm going over to the side. So 4R cubed is equal to 4 over 125. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So R cubed is equal to this divided by 4 to get rid of the 4. So 4 over 125 divided by 4 is 1 over 125. So R is equal to the cube root of 1 over 125. R is equal to the cube root of 1 is 1. The cube root of 125 is 5. So now we've got R is equal to 1 over 5. Okay, lots of numbers on the board. Lots of numbers on the board. I know at times some parents now they say you lost me here somewhere. Right? Grade 12, you'll know exactly, or grade 11, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, we're just following our rules of exponents and our rules of equations. Right, so what we did, we took equation number 1, we put it in terms of A equals 4 over R. We substituted it into equation number 2. Right, there we go. For every A, I put 4 over R. So we got 4R4 over R times 1 is R1 equals 4 over 125. R4 divided by R1 is R cubed, and there's your 4. Right, we moved up there. And then R cubed is equal to 1 over 125. R is equal to the cube root of 1 over 125. R is equal to 1 over 5. Okay. We got your R. We now need to get A. So I'm going to move here on this side here. I'm going to move on this side here. Let's do that. That's out. That's out. That's out. That's out. That's out. And here we go. Okay. We found R. We now need to find A. We now need to find A. So I'm going to now substitute it into this equation here. I'm going to take this R and I'm going to put it back into there. So I got, because I need A. R is equal to 4. That's equation number 1. We got R, 1 over 5. A into 1 over 5 is equal to 4. Now you can divide the side by 1 over 5, or you can times the side by 5 over 1, because we want to isolate a. So divide by 1, or let's say times 5. Let's multiply it by 5. Let's multiply the side by 5. What I do on the left, I do on the right. So the 5 and the 5 will cancel. I'm left with a is equal to 4 times 5 is 20. And there we go. We got a, we got r. We can now find the sequence. Okay? How much time do we have left? 4 minutes. Okay, let's go. Let's finish this one up, guys. Let's finish this one up. So we got A, we got R. Let's see if you can work out what is the sequence. Remember, it's your first term times your common ratio to give you term 2. Times your common ratio to give you term 3. And let's see. Let's work this one out. Okay, so you got A is equal to 20. Let's clear the whole screen. We got A is equal to 20. We got R is equal to 1 over 5. So if your first term, let's go back, 1 over 5. So if your first term is 20, multiplied by, remember it's geometric, so times 1 over 5. So 20 times 1 over 5, check on your calculators, 20 times 1 over 5 is 4. Times 1 over 5 gives you 4 over 5. Times 1 over 5 gives you 4 over 25. And it will continue like this, going on to infinity. Okay? What was the other question? Say find the 10th term, or find the 20th term, or just find the sequence. Here's the sequence. All right. Now, they can even ask you, yeah, find the 10th term. Find the 10th term. Then all you'll do is you'll say Tn is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. Tn is equal to, or T20, let's say they wanted the 20th term, is equal to A, which is 20, into R, with your common ratio here is 1 over 5, to the power, they want the 20th term, so 20 minus 1 is 19. So that's 20 into 1 over 5 to the power 19, okay? 1 over 5 to the power 19. A is equal to, we can go to our calculators now, guys. 20 into 1 over 5. 1 over 5. Close brackets to the power, what's our power? 19. Whoa, that gives us a big answer. 1,04 times 10 to the minus 12. 1,04 times 10 to the power minus 12. Okay, and that gives you an example, or it illustrates to you how big numbers can get exponentially. Okay, but that's the way we do it. Okay, guys, you've done this here. We're now going to go into type 2. Type 2 geometric. Remember, this was type 1. This was type 1 geometric. Let's go into type 2. I'm going to put it before we cut for ad break. I'm going to put type 2 on. Let's see whether you can work it out during the ad break. When we come back from the ad break, we're going to crack the geometric example type number 2. So here's it. That was type 1. Let's go into type 2. Type 2, I tell you, let's work out something. I tell you 1, 3 over 2, 9 over 4, dot, 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 has a term equal to 8. What is the number of this term? The number of this term in the sequence. And this question in your exam is worth 5 marks. This is grade 12 only. Right? They give you a pattern, 1, 3 over 2, 9 over 4. They tell you somewhere along the pattern, it's got a term equal to 8. What is the number? So whenever they say what is the number, what alphabet are we looking for? We're looking for n. You know, from our formula, we are looking for n. This question here, just to give you a hint, just to give you a clue, we're going to be using logs. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this segment, guys. Work through it during the break. I'll see you immediately after the break, where I will be working out the memo for this question. Enjoy your break, guys.
في ساحة للعلم كنا نلتقي والحب والإخلاص
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our third segment of today's show. Guys, you're watching the Qurtuba Online Math Rescue for grade 12. Now, guys, I gave you a problem to do before break. Now, guys, we need to tell you, we did say parents, this is going to be for you, learners, but remember the show is predominantly or primarily geared for your grade 12 learners. So remember, we're going to get to a point now where parents, if you're watching, if your basics are not right, we're going to be picking up the pace. Grade 12s know exactly what we are doing. So you might get a little lost along the way, but you know what? It's part of the process. The grade 12s, they know what to do. Remember, it's a race against time. Within 16 shows, we've got to make sure that these grade 12s are prepared for their final exams. Okay, so we're going to pick up the pace now, and the problems now, as from now, are going to start to get a little hectic. Parents, you might get completely lost. Your learner knows exactly what we are doing. They've been doing this the entire year. In fact, they've been doing it for 2 years in school already. All right, so let's get started now. We're back. I'm not putting you off, guys. I'm not putting you parents off. You can still watch the show. But don't expect, because remember something, I'm not here to gear the parent. I'm here to gear the learner for his final exam. All right, let's get started. So we're going Tn is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. It's got a common ratio, right? Grade 12s, you know where we are. A is equal to 1. R is equal to that divided by that, which is 3 over 2. They told me has a term equal to 8. So they're telling me Tn, or n is equal to, has a term equal to n. Tn is equal to 8. We need to find n. Right? So we are looking for n. So what is Tn? Right, so Tn is equal to 8. There we go. Tn is equal to 8. I've put it in there. A is equal to 1. R is equal to 3 over 2 to the power n minus 1. Now we are solving n in the power in grade 12s. You know, this is where we're going to be utilizing logs. Okay. So divide by 1, we're left still with 8 is equal to 3 divided by 2. 3 over 2, you all know, is 1,5 to the power n minus 1. Now what do? We attach a log. Right? Because we need to sort n in the power. Remember, that comes before the log. So you're going to have n minus 1 log 1,5 is equal to log 8. We attach logs on both sides. Now we want n on its own. Divide by log 1,5. Divide n minus 1 will equal to log 8 divided by log 1,5. So n minus 1 is equal to, you can work this out on your calculator, log 8 divided by log 1,5. I think you're going to get 5,13. So n will equal to 5,13 plus 1 is 6,13. So therefore your sixth term will equal to 8. Therefore your sixth term will equal to 8. And there we go. That's how we do that one. Okay, using our logs. That's type 2. We are now done with sequences, your basics of sequences. We're now going into series where we're summing. Now this gets hectic, guys. We're going to be writing the board full. Parents, you're going to look at it, you're going to say, Ya Allah, where did all these numbers come from? Where do all these formulas come from? Okay, so just brace yourself. Take a deep breath, because we're going to be writing this board full with numbers. Okay, so let's get ready. This is where the show gets real. Right, let's go. Let's erase that. Now we start off with series. Now guys, I'm going to give you a mind map. Like I gave you a mind map for your formula. You'll notice nowhere in the entire show or in the shows to come am I going to work from a formula sheet and tell you, look at your formula sheet. I expect you to learn the formulas from the mind maps that I give you. You got to memorize the formulas. That's how you will finish the 3-hour paper in 1.5 hours. You don't have time in the exam to keep on looking at the formula sheet and then saying, oh, which formula do I need to use? You need to be a master at it in your final exams in order to get your distinction. Let's get started. Series is when we sum a sequence. When we sum a sequence, it becomes a series. When we want to find the total. And a series will be separated by a positive or negative sign. Now, an example of a series where we had 2, 5, 8. Here you're going to have 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus ... So it's separated by a plus or minus sign. We're finding the sum, the total of an entire sequence, right? Becomes a series. But there are formulas which we need to use. Now we get 2 types. Watch here now. We're going to break series up into 2 types. Remember, for sequences, we broke it up into arithmetic and geometric. Remember, in our previous segment, in the first segment of today's show, we broke it up into arithmetic and geometric. Series is also broken up into 2 parts. What do you think that is? No, it's not arithmetic and it's not geometric. We first break it up into finite, one that ends, and infinite or infinite, one that doesn't end. Now, finite is broken up into two parts, arithmetic and geometric, right? Let's put it like this. Finite is broken up into two parts, arithmetic and geometric. And arithmetic is broken up into two parts. One where the last term is given and one where the last term not given. Now guys, nobody is going to break it up for you like you are seeing it here at the show. Okay, this mind map is not a standard mind map. It hasn't been given to everybody at schools. You're learning it for the first time. You're probably seeing it for the first time here on the Qurtuba Online show. All right, so I'm breaking it up so that you can see it as where each component will fit. Right, so please, whatever notes you're taking down here is gold. Look after it. You're going to refer to it when we are working out our higher order questions. Right. Remember, this is still the basic. These are just the rules of this game called series. Now, when the last term, arithmetic, when last term is given, we use SN, not TN, because we're summing. Remember, for series, we're finding the sum. So it's not TN, it's SN. Right, so Sn equals n over 2 into a plus L, and you know L is your last term. What is L? Your last term. And when it's not given, Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Now, grade 12s, this is not the first time. This is purely grade 12. Grade 11s, you don't need to know this work at all, right? But it will give you a good insight or indication if you're watching the show and you're enjoying the show and you want to beef yourself up for 2023 and you want to be a master at it before your teachers even start with the topic, then follow the show. Follow the show and master the concepts. Grade 12s, you've seen this entire year. I don't need to explain to you where these formulas come from. Geometric is also broken up into two parts where r is greater than 1. Then we use Sn equals a into r to the power n minus 1 over r minus 1. Right? A is your first term, r your common ratio, Sn the sum of n terms. Right? So where r is a whole number, or where r is a fraction, when r is less than 1 but greater than minus 1, where r is a fraction. Then we use Sn equals a into 1 minus r to the power n over 1 minus r. You've got this. You know it. All right. These formulas memorized. These formulas memorized. I use the same mind map in my mind when I'm answering a paper. Whenever I see a question, I think back to this mind map and I say, okay, where does this question fall into? And then I just use the appropriate formula. And 99.9% of the cases, we always get it right. Now, infinite. Infinite is also broken up into two parts, but infinite is only geometric. Infinite is only geometric. So we are only dealing with R, your common ratio. Why? Can you find the sum to infinity of an arithmetic series? Think about it. Let's take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's arithmetic. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, all your even numbers going on to infinity. If I ask you, find the sum. You'll tell me how. It's going on to infinity. I can't find the sum. Right? So, when we're summing a series, when we're summing an infinite series, when we're summing finite, that's your finite one that ends. That's your set of formulas. Infinity is only geometric and it's also broken up into two parts. One where r is less than 1 but greater than minus 1. When you calculate your r, we say that the series converges. Or it's convergent. When you calculate r, in your geometric series, and you calculate your R, and R is a fraction, or R is less than 1 but greater than -1, we say it converges. What does it mean? It means that as we add more and more terms to the series, the sum will move towards a number, converge. If I say we're all converging, it means we're coming together. So that means the total, the sum will come towards a number. So there we know S to infinity is equal to the formula for convergent or converges A over 1 minus R. Or if R is greater than 1, if R is a whole number, then we say it diverges or divergent, and S to infinity is equal to A over R minus 1. Now they generally, in the new syllabus, I would say over the past year or two, they've now dropped off the divergent. So basically the major one that they want you to learn is this one here, the convergent one. Okay, but if you have to use it, it is possible. There is a possibility. Just learn them both. Where R is greater than 1, we say it diverges, the series diverges, means as I add more and more terms to a series, it moves away from a certain number. And that certain number is what we need to find out. That's why we're doing it. So guys, here is your series mind map. Here is your series mind map. I hope you've taken it down. Guys, what you're getting here is gold. Look after it with your life. Memorize it. You're going to be utilizing this mind map in all our questions. We're going to start with the higher order questions. I'm going to start going through the mind map. Now comes your exam type questions, right? And we're going to go through the higher order questions. And where do we begin? I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here. So if you're following my train of thought, you'll understand the entire topic. We're going to start arithmetic. We're going to start with questions in your exam with arithmetic, finite. Then we're going to go geometric, finite. Then we're going to go into convergent, and we're going to go into infinity, and then we're going to go into all its types. So we're going to start off with examples here, exam type examples with geometric, and exam type examples with infinity. And that will wrap up series. So we've done sequences, we've done series. We're then going to go into sigma notation, which I doubt we're going to have enough time in today's show. Right, so stay tuned to our show. All right, you know our times. Every Tuesday, every Thursday are the main shows from 9:30 to 11 p.m. And on Saturdays and Sundays, the repeat on Hilaal TV, TSTV, channel 347. You tune to the best TV station in the world. Right, let's go. Let's start with arithmetic. Let's start, guys, with arithmetic. And now it starts getting a bit hectic. Right, calculation. Make sure you got your calculators. Parents, if you're watching, this is the time you need to tap out. Right, just step out, take a deep breath, and just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. That's the main thing. Enjoy the show. Let's clear. Right, you've taken that mind map down. Let's start with arithmetic. Right, in an arithmetic, okay, find the sum of the series. Find the sum of the series. Right, let's say 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus ... plus 41. Right, or let's say 42. Let's say 42. I think it's 42. Let's work it out. It's either 41 or 42. Makes no difference. Okay, let's work it out. Find the sum of the series. Now, we know the last term is given. We got A, and we know it's arithmetic because 2 to get to 5 is 3. 5 to 8 is 3. 8 to 11 is 3. We need to find the sum of this whole series, but we don't know how many terms they are. So firstly, guys, we need to find out how many terms there are. So we're going to use Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D to find n, our number of terms. Now 42 is our last term, guys. 42 is it's a finite, it ends. It's our last term. If I can find out what number is that last term, then I know how many terms there are. If 42 is the 20th term, just hear me out, follow my train of thought. If the number 42 is the 20th term and it's the last term, that means there must be 20 terms. And that's what we want to find out. What number is 42 in this series? Okay, because that will give us an indication as to how many terms there are. So now, 42 is equal to A2 plus n minus 1. I'm looking for n. My common difference is 3. Right. So 42 is equal to 2 plus 3n minus 3. Right. I just multiplied this out. So 42 is equal to 3n minus 1. 3n is equal to 43. Right. 3n is equal to 42 minus 1 is 43. So n is equal to 43 divided by, in fact, maybe we should have put, if I put, yeah, it's fine. So 43 divided by 3, but this doesn't give us an even number. 40, let's work it out. 43 divided by 3. 43 divided by 3. We get 14,3. 14,3 recurring. So n is equal to 14 terms. Right? We just round this up. So n is equal to 14 terms. So we've got 14 terms in the series. If I had 41 there, 41 minus 41 plus 1 would be 42. You know what? We should have put 41, guys. Let's do this. My bad. Let's do this, guys. Let's make this last term here 41. Change it to 41. Change it to 41. Because if I put 41 there, then I'm going to get 41 here. I'm going to get 41 here. I'm going to get 41 here. And then 3n will equal to 41 plus 1, which is 42. That will work out even better. Then n is equal to 42 divided by 3 is 14 on the dot. So let's do that. N is equal to 14 terms. Now it works out. Right, so just change that. Instead of 42, put 41. So we've got n is equal to 14. We're now going to go Sn. What does the question say? Find the sum. So Sn is equal to n over 2 into a plus l, because my last term is given. Remember, finite arithmetic, last term given. So s to how many terms? That's why we needed this 14. S to 14 terms. For every n, I'm going to put 14. 14 over 2 into a, what's a? Your first term, 2. Plus, what's your last term? 41. That will give me 14 over 2 is 7 into 41 plus 2 is 43. Right. So 20, 40, what's it? 301? I think it's 301. Let's just double check. Right. Let's just double check. 7 times 43. 7 times 43. Ha! I don't think I'm right. I know. I'm just joking. Right. So there we go. 301. S14 is equal to 301. And there we go. The sum. That means between here and here, there are 14 terms. There are 14 terms, and the sum of all those 14 terms is 301. Right, so this is exam type number 1 under arithmetic series. The next very popular question that they will ask you. Let's go. How many terms? Let's go. How many terms of the arithmetic series or sequence, they can even say sequence, right? 34, 40, 46, ... will sum to 1530 for 5 marks. Question, answer. Now remember, this is a different topic. Your paper, you know, your just to put everybody in the picture, this is paper 1. Sequences and series is paper 1. Your algebra, your 20 marks. Sequences and series, 15 to 20 marks. Then comes your functions for another 30 marks. 30 to 40 marks your functions. Then you got your calculus for 40 marks, and then you've got probability. And all these, we are all coming towards that in these 16 episodes. Okay, so how many terms of the arithmetic sequence 34, 40, 46 will sum? The key word here, guys, the key word is sum. Although this is a sequence, 34, 40, 46, they don't put a plus there, but they use the word sum in it. They use the word sum, so that means it's a series. So now we go straight. The last term is not given. So we go Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. That's your formula, arithmetic series, last term not given. Check back on your mind map that we did. Right, so they're giving me the Sn 1530. So I put that there. We're looking how many terms. When they say how many terms, they are always looking for n. n your number of terms. So they're looking for n. So we don't have n. So n over 2 into 2. A, my first term, 34. Plus n minus 1, I don't have n. My common difference here is 6. Now this is algebra. I need to get n. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2. I'm going to multiply this side by 2. To get rid of the 2, I'm going to multiply that side by 2. So 2 times 1530 is 3060, right? 2 times 1530 is 3060 equals n into 2 times 34, 68. Plus, multiply 6n minus 6. That 2, don't worry, it cancelled with that 2. Now, 3060 is equal to n into 68 minus 6 is 62 plus 6n. Now we're going to multiply the n inside. So we're going to get 3060 is equal to n times 62, 62n plus 6n times n is n squared. Guys, this ends up in a quadratic equation. What do I have? I'm going to move up here. I'm going to get 6n squared plus 62n minus 3060 is equal to 0. So divide everything by 2 again. I'm going to get 3n squared plus 31n minus 1530 is equal to 0. Now we're going to factorize this. Now, if you don't have the silver calculator, if you don't have the FX991 plus, then obviously you're going to have to use the quadratic formula. You don't want to do that. So try and get the silver calculator. I'm sure your schools will allow you to use that calculator where you're going to factorize. So when you use your calculator and you get here, n will equal to minus 85 over 3 or n will equal to 18. Now you know because you must get 2 solutions for n. Now you know your number of terms can never be negative. You can never have a negative number of terms. So obviously, what's it? 18 terms. So here's your final answer. N is equal to 18. How many terms will sum? 18 terms. Therefore, 18. Let's go here. Let's do that. Therefore, 18 terms will sum to 1530. And that's your final answer. And there you go, you'll get 5 to 6 marks for that. Okay, lots of maths, lots of numbers, makes you spin. Sometimes your parents will be looking there and say, you know what, it's better you do it. Now you understand as parents how much your children have to go through in order to get through maths. It's no joke. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of calculation, but you really, really, really need to know your work. And that's what we're here to do, to show you how it's done. Okay, so we've got this here. We've got 1 minute left, guys. We've got 1 minute to wrap up the show, right? I'm going to give you guys one for our next show, right? I'm going to leave you with one question to do. So I'm going to erase this. You've taken it down. I'm going to tell you the sum, take this one down before we wrap up today. The sum of 10 terms of an arithmetic series is 60. The second and the fifth terms add up to 9. Add up to 9. Find the series for 7 marks. Right? I'm going to leave you with this one for our next show, guys. You can start working it out. Stay tuned. Our next show, remember our repeats are on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. Our next main show is every Tuesday and every Thursday. So in our next show, we're going to be completing all of this. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this action-packed bumper 1.5 hours. Time flies here in studio. The 30 minutes are up before I even know it. I'm already getting shouting there from the control room. Time out, time out, time out. Guys, love you guys. I hope you guys are loving maths and I hope you guys are going to be ready for your final exam. From me, Mr. K and Qurtuba Online Academy, Hilaal TV. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.